Good morning. How are you? My name is Lois Gibiga. I am an RCIC, that is a regulated Canadian immigration consultant, and I'm coming to you live from Calgary, Alberta, Canada. I hope you're doing well wherever you are. It's a beautiful Sunday morning here. And today I want to talk about the Rural and Northern Immigration Pilot Program that is about to come up soon. I just have a disclaimer here, real quick, as usual in my other videos. This is not legal advice, this is just an FYI session. So, should you need to book, should you have a question, a personal question regarding your eligibility, regarding any case, be sure to book a consultation with me. It's a paid consultation. I take my time, I take my skills. So if you want to do that, send me an email. My email address is lois@awepyyc.com. So that is how you would reach me to book a paid consultation. And yeah, I know people ask, oh yeah, you charge for your consultation. Yes, I do charge because I am licensed, I am regulated. You can check my license with ICCRC. And I give you professional advice, I give you professional help. So that is why I charge. It's use of my time and skills. So if you have any personal question, feel free to get in touch with me, but just know that it's going to be a paid consultation. Otherwise, I'm sure there's a lot of free things that you can get on the internet. So when you come to me, I do charge for my skills and my time. That out of the way. So we're talking about the Rural and Northern Immigration Pilot. This is a new pilot that is coming up. The government of Canada has rolled out a new pilot to bring people here as permanent residents in particular communities. So what this pilot is about, it's about certain communities, and I'll be naming those communities that are participating in this pilot. We have communities in Ontario, we have North Bay, we have Sudbury, we have Timmins, we also have Sault Ste. Marie and Thunder Bay in Ontario that are participating in this pilot. In Manitoba, we have Brandon and Altona. In Saskatchewan, we have Moose Jaw. In Alberta, I live in Alberta, we have Claresholm. And in BC, we have Vernon and West Kootenay. Those are the communities that are participating in this pilot. So what is it about? It's about trying to populate these these cities and to bring skilled workers to work in those cities. So what that is going to require is that one has to find a job with an employer in the participating community. So, and then if a community recommends you and you're successful in your PR, then you're going to move to live and work in that particular community. Okay? All requirements for permanent residents must be met. That means you must be admissible financially, health-wise, and criminally. So those ones are not going to be overridden. So you must meet that admissibility requirement for permanent residents. Applications have not yet begun. So communities have submitted their paperwork, but we still don't have, this pilot is not yet open. We're hoping that it's going to be opening soon, maybe in November. So we also don't have the final details about this pilot as to the requirements. They are not yet released. We shall get those as soon as the government releases that. So I talked about the participating communities, and I want to talk about why would a community recommend you? Because this is purely by recommendation. So why would a community recommend you? A community is going to be looking for people who best fit them and their needs and their requirements. So they want people who will come and thrive They want people who will come and grow the workforce and grow the economy of that community. You'll also need to have a genuine job offer in that community. That's why another reason why a community may want to recommend you. You must have an intent to live in that community, and the other reason why a community may want to recommend you is because you already have ties. When I mean ties, I mean you already have relatives who live there. So they know that you are most likely going to live there because you already have a sister who lives there, a brother, an uncle, or an aunt who live there. So it's highly possible that once you move there, you'll settle there just like your relative or even your friends. Usually what happens with some of these things, people do come to communities like this, but then they move to bigger cities. So the reason they want people who have ties is because they want to retain you once you move there. Of course, the communities are investing, they are offering you jobs, they are offering you a lot of resources when you come here, so they want to make sure that they can retain you. So, what are the requirements for this pilot? I think I've touched on a few, but I'll still say them again. So, you will need to get a recommendation from a designated community. You will also need to have a qualifying work experience from wherever you're coming from. If you don't have a qualifying work experience, you will need to have graduated from a publicly funded institution in that community. And this is a very good opportunity for international students. If you're aspiring to come to Canada, talk to me. Let us look for universities and colleges in these communities, because the moment you graduate from these communities, then you'll have a better chance to be accepted in this pilot program, simply because you studied in that community, so they know you're used to that area, you know a few people, you know their culture, so you're going to be a better fit than someone who is just coming from abroad. Okay, so that is a good opportunity for students. And you will also need to have a qualifying job offer. So you'll need an employer in this community, in one of these communities, to give you a job offer. You're also going to need to meet the language requirements. Usually, to come to Canada, you must meet language requirements either for English or for French. The good thing with this also is the requirements are not so high. So usually we have people who are highly educated, but they do not meet the express entry requirements, because of course express entry needs very high language level. This one is going to need between a CLB4 and a CLB6. So that is easy to meet for a lot of people. You must show proof that you have money, enough money to settle in this community, just so that you're not coming to drain their social resources. The other and the most important thing is that you are going to intend to live in this community. I said that before. They do not want to bring you here and then 6 months down the line, you are moving to a big city like Calgary or Toronto or Montreal. So yes, you must have an intention, and this is something that you really need to prove in your application. So you need to be working with someone like me or a legal counsel to make sure that you're proving that you're going to live in that community. Okay. Then they're also going to need language. I mean, not language, sorry. They're also going to need education. And the education for this is not that high as well. They only need the equivalence of Canadian high school. So if you get an ECA that shows that you have the equivalence of Canadian high school, that is good enough. However, I will say this, and I've said this many times. This is one program. It's just one pathway that is bringing people to Canada. Guess what? Canada usually takes about 350,000 immigrants per year, and we have so many pathways, which tells you that there's going to be so many people from all over the world who are going to be applying for this. So competition is very, 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 very high. So if you just have a high school, if you just have a high school, what are your chances? Who are you competing with? What is your value proposition? What are you adding to this community? So you need to be highly competitive. The more educated you are, the better. The higher language you have, the better. If you have a good work experience, the better, because you're not just competing with people from Kenya or Africa, you're competing with Asians, with people from Europe, with people from United States. Believe you me, everybody is going to be applying for this pilot. So you must put your best foot forward, and I can tell you for free, people who have better credentials are going to have better chances. Because why would an employer want to hire you if you don't have a good work history? Okay, and that is why you need to be talking with us, so that we can design something good for you. We can advise you on exactly how to go about this. You want to do one good application and do it really well. So that is why you need to be talking to me. So what is my help in all this? So if you contact me and you need help with all this, how can I help you? I will always, and I do this, I've said this before, I always start with a consultation. I do not want to be wasting a lot of my time talking to someone who is not even eligible. So I do a consultation to check your eligibility. That's a given, because that helps me and helps you. I save you time and money. A lot of people are going to be applying. I've seen people be told, oh, you know what, just apply, everybody can apply. And then you're paying people money to apply. Are you eligible to start with? What are your chances? Right? Me, I'll give you real life situations. I am straight. I'm very straight. I'm very direct. I don't beat around the bushes. I'll tell you what your chances are. Then after the consultation, I'll save you money, just in case you want to go get conned by someone who's telling you, oh yes, I'll apply for you and you'll be picked. There are other things to consider in your application. So I'll give you a strategy. Right? I said everything is a strategy. You need a strategy. It's a life-changing decision. And as I said, competition is very high. So you need a really good strategy to approach this to make sure that you're acing it. So I'll help you process your application. I'll help you apply in the communities, because you need to contact these communities. Guess how many people will be reaching out to these communities? So I'll help you. I'm on the ground. I work here. I know how things work here, right? Everybody, I live in this culture. So I know how to reach out to these communities, how to apply for these applications. I'll also help you look for jobs. People tell you, oh, you know what, just apply for a job on Indeed, or I don't know, a job bank. Fine, that is exactly how you need to do it. But how are you doing it? Is your job application standing out in Canadian standards? Because Canadian standards are really, really, really different. It's one thing having a resume out there, and it's another thing to have an employer actually call you because you're standing out. And also, you may be called, but how are you presenting yourself? Are you presenting yourself in a way that is acceptable to the Canadian employer? Believe me, I work in corporate Canada. I've done that for 8 years. I'm still working in corporate Canada. So I know a thing or two about working here and what they want, how they want people to present themselves. So I'll help you do that. I'll help you do a mock interview, because you're going to be needing an interview to get a job offer. I'll help you design all that. Yeah, as I said, getting a job is way beyond a resume. You can have a rocking resume on a certain portal, on a certain dashboard, but can people go beyond that resume? Are you presenting yourself for success? Are you presenting yourself? Are you getting that job offer? Because you need that job offer to be able to participate in this pilot. Okay, so as I said, I'll do a mock interview so that we are preparing you for success. Again, that is just a general overview about this pilot. I'm excited. So this is a really good pilot for people who've been trying to come here as express entry applicants. maybe they didn't get that high mark, the 460 points that they want, but you're educated. Maybe language has been a barrier for you, or just something. Even age has been a barrier for you, because this doesn't have age requirements yet. Maybe they're going to change that, but they don't have age requirements. So this is really good. So if you have a good job, you have a perfect work history, you have good education credentials, you can present yourself, and you have value. What is the value you're bringing to these communities? If you're bringing good value to these communities, be talking to me and we shall work with you to put your application forward and help you process your application to the rural and northern immigration pilot. Again, that is all for today. I'll be seeing you soon. Thank you. Stay tuned. Subscribe. Follow me on YouTube. Follow Milele Immigration Services on Facebook. And stay tuned. Yes, again, I said, if you have anything personal, if you have a personal question, book a consultation with me. Bye bye. Thank you.